quick, so I'll be able to just do that. Okay, cool. So let me stop for a minute. So first off, I'll introduce myself, James Costa. I've been in the fashion and apparel industry now for 23 years. I'm 46 years old, which means that half my life has been devoted to this insane business. Sometimes wonder why I'm still here, but it's obviously because of the passion that I have for design, development, and production, which is what most of my career has been devoted to. I've been designing, developing, producing men's, women's, and children's collections for a majority of my career. Little bit on the apparel technology, PLM side, so a few years experience there, but particularly from like a design director standpoint, I've worked on startups for myself, and I've also worked for $40 million companies producing across multiple categories and divisions. So let me go ahead and share my screen. I will be, let's see. Are we good?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. All right, so I'm introducing everyone to Clubhouse Archives today. We are a luxury apparel, really fashion hub, I guess is the better explanation for the Web3 space and beyond. I got into Web3 in February of 2021, so last year, through an old business partner of mine that explained to me what an NFT was. And when he did that, I was instantly hooked and realized that there was a massive opportunity in the space, because I essentially did a ton of research in Web3 and realized that there was a massive problem in terms of most of the companies in Web3 are technology companies. So their expertise lies in creating technology-based software and or services, and apparel was not necessarily their forte, and that was becoming very apparent all throughout 2021 as these companies would start to deliver product to their communities. So I realized that there was an opportunity and there was an issue in terms of trying to facilitate high quality apparel at scale, or really any differentiated price point. So as a solution, I created Clubhouse Archives because we really saw the need for some sort of a membership-based hub, which is what we are. And really that is for the betterment and development of premium goods and services that bridge both the physical and the digital world. And we'll get into what those are momentarily. However, this was referenced before from someone earlier in terms of the opportunity that exists, right? So correct, Morgan Stanley identified this as a $50 billion digital demand, only the digital side of this by 2030, but they even went further to look at the total TAM. So if you talk about a total addressable market, where it's really a $1.5 trillion industry that's going to be created within the metaverse marketplaces, and all of the goods that a lot of the designers that enter the space are likely going to be selling or transacting. So what we did is we created a business model really around this in terms of twofold, right? A B2B business that delivers products and or services. And while that business grows, we are building up equity in the brand name to deliver a B2C digital and primarily digital as well, and in some aspects products line that will be branded Clubhouse Archives. So in terms of primary and secondary sales, pretty standard. We're all aware of the royalties that can be created through NFTs, and we have an interesting IP that we'll talk about called the Garment in a little bit, and then a massive gaming opportunity in the future, but we really currently see that as secondary. We've got an incredible team assembled, individuals that have come from Fortune 500 companies, Google, Amazon, Nestle, Progressive. Our CTO created the eye mirror, which is awesome. That was in Walmart and Lululemon and Calvin Klein, amongst others. We've got an incredible CMO as well. And then our chief sourcing officer actually is a Forbes 30 under 30. He was partly responsible for bringing a lot of the manufacturing back to the United States. He's been in the business now for 14 years, and he was the CEO of IndieSource. So IndieSource was a massive global sourcing company that primarily focused in the US to promote those businesses before COVID really put a big damper on that. So our team is currently servicing traction that we have in the business. We have a total actually of 12 companies that we are producing digital goods for. Some of them are primarily physical, some of them are digital, but a majority of them are phygital goods, so servicing the link between the physical and the digital. Some notable names, Linkstyle, which is a massive NFT golf brand that we're actually producing a men's and women's collection. They're going to push this beyond Web3, and they're actually going to launch this out globally. PKL Crew is an example of a Web2 company that we work with that is not in the space, however, that is using our services to eventually enter the space on the digital side, but primarily physical goods. And we'll talk about why our goods are different and why we're not just a manufacturing and design company. And then XOMG Pop is actually a little girls group that was put together by JoJo, the actress and singer. They were just on America's Got Talent, and they're entering the NFT space, and we're actually facilitating a drop for them. Now, why would a company like that want to come to us? And this is where it gets really interesting for me, and this is what attracted me to the space. We're creating groundbreaking products, and all of us probably on this call have experience in what I'm about to talk about in terms of like understanding the technology and what it can do for physical garments in the apparel industry or accessories as we push forward. We are now at the interesting paradigm shift and opportunity to take a physical garment and do things with it that it was prior not capable to do. Through things like an NFC chip, you can use QIDs, you can use QR codes if you want. You can create not only the opportunity to authenticate and provide ownership and provenance data. And when I say provenance data, think of things like sustainable data, so you can understand where the garment was sourced, the logistics chain, and everything that happened along that way in terms of the resources that were utilized in the product. That's really interesting, right, from a consumer aspect. However, you can now create an access pass out of a physical garment because scanning that NFC chip that we use in all of our products for all of our clients, including the consumer line, means that I could take that jacket and that jacket can get me into an event. And when you start to think of the interesting prospects of things like that, garments now transcend their current use case. Social engagement, 3 individuals wearing the brand or standing next to each other. They can scan each other, get that same kind of POAP that Alex is offering us today, but doing it through a social engagement experience. And you can even gamify that experience. So you can take things like the NFC chip to activate a QR, or I'm sorry, AR camera in your phone. I can scan that chest patch, and that chest patch now comes alive and delivers a message to me. And that can kick off a scavenger hunt, if you will. So all of this is enhancing the customer experience in ways that garments never have. So when we say that we're a manufacturing company, yes, it's what we're manufacturing that's really intriguing and interesting to not only the businesses that we work with, but the consumers inside the Web3 space. So we have our own token-gated marketplace, operates on 2 fronts. You can connect your token and it can gate a page, right? So James, as a Clubhouse Archives token holder, can get into this experience of that, or we can token gate products, and we can do that on a multi-tiered experience through discounts. So I can token gate a product for one of our clients. If the token holder has that token, they get 25% off. If they hold their token and the Clubhouse Archives token, they get 40% off, and so on and so forth. So now this encourages the sale of all the community tokens amongst one another and the ability for communities to collaborate on product that would have that kind of opportunity as well. I won't go through the tokenomics with you. I want to skip down to some more important things. So we're selling memberships basically into this ecosystem, and what's the value of those memberships? So this is another interesting thing, and the reason why I want to talk about this is not necessarily to pitch the value of the project, but I want to plant seeds in other individuals that might be building businesses in Web3, because one of the things, and Nike just introduced this, by the way, we've been doing this for, like I said, since last February. So to see that they've introduced this was validation for me. Choice is one of our utilities. So we allow all of our holders to participate in the product development process. We have a token gated voting area where we actually initially show them color, labels, trims, tapings, buttons, packaging, everything that's involved in the product, and we allow them to cast their voice. If they do that, they're going to utilize another utility that allows them to fill out an independent contractor agreement. And this is where I wanted to say it's unique, so I want everybody to kind of listen to this part. If they fill out that independent contractor agreement, you're allowed to then rev share with them because they are working for your company by voting for products and shaping and molding the future of the business. Nike just introduced a royalty program where, because individuals will collaborate on design, they're going to actually compensate them in form of royalties. Same principle. And I just thought that was really interesting when they released the dot swoosh recently. Access, we already talked about both physical access by the garment acting as an access pass, and the digital access in the token gated marketplace. And then obviously community. And I think we all know the power of community. This just talks about the customer journey and the way that people can vote on products, purchase products. And where it gets interesting in that aspect is you purchase the NFT first, then we go out and we produce the garments after a period of time, making this also a very large sustainable movement and effort within our industry, because we're being a lot more efficient with the way that we create our products. The NFT acts as a digital receipt, and it also acts as an authenticator, as I mentioned, in all of the various ways that we're utilizing that within the product. Here is just a quick snapshot of the 3D garments that we create. I do currently use Glow 3D, although I'm very interested in the product that I just saw. I'll be very honest, and I want to have a conversation there. But this all revolves around something that we call the garment. We have received the trademark, so I do actually update all this on garment. This is just a testament to how long I've been doing this. When I searched for this about a year ago, I was shocked that it was available. So all of our products will be sold as garments, and they'll all come with the utility that I just mentioned. We do have current technology partners. We've actually got a few more of this, the ability to purchase in credit card. We're talking about interoperability. I did mention the fact that I was discussing the virtual try-on, and then Smart Seal provides the NFC chips. We have an amazing advisory team that we don't necessarily have to go into, but some notables, D-Rock from Gary Vee, if anybody follows him, amongst others. And then we have an advisory group called the Key Society of 80 members that we've collected along the way that really help us shape and mold the future of the business. And then these are just examples of products that we create. Finally, here is our contact information. Just put James in front of that. And I'm going to also drop it in the chat. I would love to have discussions with everyone that I've heard from today. Incredible technologies. I commend all of you. And really, I think all of the individuals in this room on this call are shaping and molding the future of our space. And I'm really proud to be a part of this panel. So just wanted to extend that appreciation. That's it.